every person who watches television has a certain cultural phenomenon that defines quality for them. For many people, that is Lost, by Damon Lindelof and Carlton Cuse, or as true Losties call him, Darlton. Now, most television phenomena go on for quite a while, but it is inevitable that it will end at some point. The ending of Lost really angered a lot of people because it didn't answer all the mysteries in the ways they wanted it to be answered. Many people have also made the complaint that the last season of Lost did not delve deeper into philosophical issues like other seasons did. While I agree not everything was perfect in the final season, cited in the other's temple, it made no sense. I argue that it tied together the two separate debates in both sections of the show. These sections being good versus evil, and faith versus science, or more appropriately, belief versus critical reasoning. The final season said that both faith and science are necessary in combating evil, but that is not what this video is about. In this final season, they took a look at one of the most enigmatic characters in Lost, Richard Alpert. In order to appreciate why this is my favorite scene, bringing up Ricardos' background is significant. He is a man who is driven by purpose. More appropriately, a purpose that he wants to hear. In 1867, Ricardos' wife, Isabella, was dying of tuberculosis. Ricardos hurried down to the doctor to give her medicine, but the doctor refused him because his payment was not enough. They got into a struggle, and the doctor was killed. Ricardo fled back to his wife, where he found out that Isabella had already passed away. It all had no purpose. He is then arrested, about to be executed, is sold as a slave, and crashes on the island. He is confronted by the Man in Black, who gives him a mission to kill Jacob, whom the Man in Black claims to be totally evil. Jacob, well, wrecks him. Afterwards, Jacob talks to him and gives him a purpose: to stop the evil from escaping the island. So after Jacob makes him immortal, he tries to fulfill his purpose. Is it stabby time, Jacob? I think it's stabby time. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. This won't have any lasting consequences, I hope. Anyway, Richard loses sight of the person he follows, which leads us to the scene in Season 6, Episode 7, Dr. Linus. Richard wants to blow himself up, because
I devoted my life, longer than you can possibly imagine, in service of a man who told me that everything was happening for a reason, that he had a plan that I was a part of, and when the time was right, that he'd share it with me. And now that man's gone. So why do I want to die? Because I just found out my entire life had no purpose.
In response, Jack and him get a little cozy with a stick of dynamite and talk.
And you're gonna die.
Actually, I don't think either one of us is gonna die.
What makes you think that?
I just came from a lighthouse where my name was etched in wood on a dial that turned a mirror that somehow reflected the image of the house that I grew up in. Jacob's lighthouse. He got Hurley to bring me out there because he wanted me to see what was reflected in that mirror. For some reason, he wanted me to know that he had been watching me ever since I was a kid.
Why?
I have no idea why. But I'm willing to bet you that if Jacob went to that trouble, that he brought me to this island for a reason, and it's not to blow up sitting here with you right now.
That's a pretty big risk you're taking, Jack.
Yes.
What if you're wrong?
I'm not. Try another stick.
All right, Jack. You seem to have all the answers, so now what?
go back to where we started.
Jack doesn't know the entire answer, but he knows that there's a reason. Richard quit on Jacob because he just found out his purpose wasn't going to have an obvious and satisfying conclusion. As human beings, we like everything to be spelled out for us. Seeking what is true is not what is desirable. Albert Camus. Sometimes the answers we get to our turmoil are appropriate, but they aren't what we wanted to hear. And so we weren't listening for the truth. We were listening for what we wanted to hear. Jack's final words are most important. We go back to where we started. The answer was given to us at the beginning, even though we may not like it. Alpert is us. His testing of his purpose is something that we all go through, and we have all had moments of forsaking it, even if we are staunch believers. We try to make the questions we ask fit with the answers we have, because we always want the answer we are given to match the questions we have, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. Faith is recognizing you don't understand everything. You don't have the ability to see it right now. And in the end, it all makes sense. Every character in Lost wants answers, but for selfish reasons. Sometimes the answer they need is you don't need all the answers. And that's fine. Thank you. Is it stabby time?